เมื่อช่วงต้นเดือนที่ผ่านมามีข่าวต่างประเทศที่ดังมากข่าวหนึ่งนะครับคือข่าวกรณีประธานาธิบดีโรดิโกดูเตเต้หรือว่าดูเตเต้ของฟิลิปปินส์มีการพูดพาดพิงไปถึงประธานาธิบดีบารักโอบามาของสหรัฐอเมริกาแล้วก็เป็นที่เข้าใจนะครับว่าดูเหมือนว่าจะเป็นการพูดในเชิงที่ไม่เหมาะสมเท่าไหร่มีการเปรียบเทียบว่าเป็นลูกโสเภณีหรือไม่แม้ว่าภายหลังจะมีการยืนยันว่าเป็นลักษณะเปรียบเทียบไม่ได้เป็นการกล่าวว่าโดยตรงก็ตามแต่แน่นอนว่าเรื่องนี้มีผลกระทบทางการทูตอย่างแน่นอนนะครับมติชนวิกเอนของเรามีโอกาสให้การต้อนรับคอลัมนิสต์ดังจากหนังสือพิมพ์ของประเทศฟิลิปปินส์นะครับก็คือมิสเตอร์เบฟรามาเดสเดินทางมาที่ประเทศไทยครับแล้วก็ได้สนทนากับคุณธงชัยชนสิริพงศ์พูดถึงการเมืองของฟิลิปปินส์ภายใต้ประธานาธิบดีดูเตเต้พูดถึงการทำงานของสื่อมวลชนนะครับติดตามได้จากบทสัมภาษณ์ครับ
Okay, let's talk about his policy and connect to the media situation in Philippines. Okay, his policy has a legitimacy because he was in the power with by election. But the way that he did, that was the UN said that this is a violation of human rights. We all know. So I want to know that the media in Philippines, do you have some two side or let's say one side support his policy and one side against his policy? Did you have some like controversial or debate about this?
Well, right now, I would be very frank to say that because of his popularity, which is still there, he had a 91% rating that was about a month ago. I don't know what it is now, but the media will always try to follow what most people look at him. Okay, he's popular. They feel that he's doing the right things. All of this foul language is probably still acceptable, and whatever happens in the international press is, some of us will say, oh, it's just too bad, but it will have its effect. It will have its effect. But so right now, I would say that a majority of the media people are still sort of like giving him the opportunity to still do what he thinks. So they still don't see a correlation of extrajudicial killings or human rights being violated because they see that they believe that the drug situation in the Philippines is very, very severe. It's very critical that everybody wants to see him succeed in getting rid of this drug problem. But again, it's only a matter of time if it continues and it goes overboard. And then you will see a change. And if we continue to have a free press, which I hope we will, then we will have more criticisms coming his way.
But in Philippines, you have a freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Do you have a kind of that?
We are the freest country in the world as far as press. People have said that before Marcos, it was very free. And then, of course, during martial law, it was not free because it was controlled. But then when Mrs. Aquino came in, it was very free. And to her credit, she made the freedom of speech as one of the basic rights of Filipinos.
But in the let's get back to your article. You said that we all hope that President Duterte first international meeting will be successful.
Yeah.
But in this day, what do you think?
I think it was a disaster. It was a disaster because it was an opportunity for him to show to the world, especially with our problem with the Chinese in the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea. It was an opportunity because this is one of the first meetings that he has that we will state our position. We won in the UN Arbitral Court. It was an opportunity for us to convince other ASEAN nations, but like Thailand, that we're on the right track. And we have countries like the United States backing us up in our claim that what China did was wrong. But what happened was the story became the bilateral meeting did not take place. He did not attend the meeting with the United Nations, the UN ASEAN meeting. He did not attend the US ASEAN meeting. He did not attend the US-India-US meeting, all of that. And it became personal on his part. So who are the losers? The Filipino people. That was our opportunity. He was our president to do these things. And that's why I'm sad to say it was a disaster for the Philippines. You know, It's different when you're out there representing. You're not representing yourself. You're representing 110 million people. And you have to do what 110 million people want you to do, not the 16 million people that voted for you. That's only not even 1/3.
Represent the nation, state.
Exactly.
Last year, I watched a video from The Guardian, the Western media. They said that the journalists in Philippines carry guns to doing news.
Well, not all journalists. I think mostly in the provinces, journalists their life is in peril because, especially those hard-hitting journalists, mostly radio commentators who are every day they have something, and there are many warlords, as I mentioned to you. Warlords are people who are kingpins in an area. It's like they're the mafia boss,
Yes.
you know. So they can be very vicious, and it can cost your life when you criticize a particular issue that ruffles their feathers. It's quite dangerous, especially outside. But generally, I think most journalists just simply go about it and hope for the best. You know, because not everybody can really, first of all, even know how to use a gun. So it could be dangerous to your health.
And the most dangerous for journalists in the world.
Well, that came out in an article that the most dangerous place for journalists in the world is number 1 is Iraq at that time, and now number 2, the Philippines. I hope we're not there anymore, but I don't know what the last rating was.
Okay, and the last question is, what do you think about the future of the politics in the Philippines after the Duterte speech?
Well, no, I think I'm hopeful that this was a learning thing for him. As far as the international press is concerned, and his appearance in these international meetings, I'm hoping that there are people he will listen to that will give him some good advice on how to conduct such meetings, and for him to understand that he's not doing it really for himself, for the people who voted for him, but he's doing it for the country whom he professes to love. So I think that one thing for sure, when at least the few times that I met him, I find him to be, he can be a very amiable person, and he's also very smart. He's a lawyer. He used to be a prosecutor, so he can argue his point well if he wants to. And he also has a very strong depth of history. So that's why, as you know, what's happening in the United States, they're very concerned. The conservatives are very concerned about a Donald Trump becoming president, because he's capable of saying things. He angered already the Mexicans. He went there and he came back. He said the same thing again. So that in itself tells you, and he's only a candidate. Can you imagine if he's president? I mean, who knows? So if you have Donald Trump as president and Duterte as president of the Philippines, and Donald Trump says something nasty about Duterte, Duterte will say something nasty about Trump, who knows? We might be at war with the United States.
Yes, kind of scary.
You see? And that's all by words, by just saying something.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, I think is all right. That is very informative.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
สวัสดีครับ
Thank you.
นี่คือเสียงสะท้อนของสื่อของฟิลิปปินส์เองนะครับภาพลักษณ์ของประธานาธิบดีโรดริโก ดูเตเต้ที่เราเห็นก็คือเป็นคนที่ค่อนข้างจะดีเดือดนะครับแล้วก็นโยบายที่ถูกวิพากษ์วิจารณ์ก็คือนโยบายกวาดล้างคนที่เกี่ยวข้องกับยาเสพติดอย่างเด็ดขาดนะครับในลักษณะของสารเตี้ยหรือว่าค่าตัดตอนคล้ายๆกับที่เคยถูกวิพากษ์วิจารณ์ลักษณะแบบเดียวกันในบ้านเรานะครับและที่สำคัญตอนนี้กำลังมีการตรวจสอบย้อนหลังกลับไปตอนที่ดูเตเต้ยังเป็นนายกเทศมนตรีปรากฏว่ามีคนที่เคยทำงานให้ดูเตเต้ออกมาแฉนะครับว่า เขาได้รับคำสั่งให้ไปสังหารคนที่เป็นศัตรูเป็นคู่แข่งหรือว่าเป็นผู้ต้องสงสัยกรณีต่างๆซึ่งขัดแย้งกับดูเตเต้ไม่ต่ำกว่า 1,000 คนในช่วงปี 2531 ถึง 2556 ประเด็นนี้ทั้งสหรัฐอเมริกาและก็องค์กรระดับโลกอย่าง Human Rights Watch กำลังจับตามองนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นน่าสนใจว่าจะมีผลกระทบอะไรกับผู้นำดีเดือดอย่างดูเตเต้หรือไม่ครับช่วงหน้านะครับเราจะไปดูเรื่องราวของนางเอกยุคใหม่นะครับดูเหมือนว่าการผูกติดกับบทนางเอกจะไม่ใช่สิ่งจำเป็นของดาราสาวยุคนี้หรือไม่สามารถจะปรับเปลี่ยนไปรับบทบาทอื่นได้ด้วยหรือไม่ติดตามมุมมองของพวกเธอได้ในช่วงหน้าครับ